Graphics card box art. Remember when they used to look cool? Yeah, Pepperidge Farm fucking remembers. I don't want to go on one of those tiresome boomer rants about how everything older is better because I'm a 24-year-old zoomer and I know a lot of newer things is a lot better than the things of the past. So I'm at least 16 years away from hitting the Bill Burr tirades and getting a finger routinely shoved up my ass by a man who's probably in more debt than I am, but that's besides the point. I'm going to once again bring up the relevant questions here. What the hell happened to GPU box art? At least 10 years ago, we used to at least give a shit what we slapped on cardboard boxes. They used to have a unique, bizarre, Aurorian charm to them that popped out and made you want to take out a payday loan to splurge on because quad pay wasn't a thing yet back then, so you had to actually pay with your cash. Though some of the art might have been a little bit dated and some looked like they dug off some nigga's DeviantArt and ripped the PNG off of it using Quick Select and exporting it on Photoshop, they still were much more original than this copy-paste bullseye mind bullshit we're subjugated to at least sextuple the price. Like, come on, if I'm going to pay $1,000 still for a 4-year-old card, then at least wine and dine me first. And by that, at least put effort in the product box. But I guess it doesn't matter anyways. The whales is happy gonna shell out $1,000 plus for a new card every year like they're gonna do with gacha games. I, for one, am tired of the non-stop effort. I'm tired of this faux popularized minimalist bullshit that every single company has to follow like little sheep. No one wants to take a risk anymore on anything because God forbid even risking losing precious little dollars and ducats. Mammon, the root of all fucking evil, I tell you. I'm calling for TND. That's right, total Nvidia death. Kick an Nvidia box down a flight of stairs. Stab an Nvidia box with a claymore. Throw Nvidia boxes in the trash. Flush an Nvidia box down the toilet. Seriously though, why does everything always go backwards and everyone pretends that it's not? They treat these GPU manufacturers like Nikkei manufacturers. Must pull the newest card for 8% better performance. But you might be saying, come on bro, the new stuff ain't that bad. Well, let's take a look at the old stuff in comparison to see if I'm overreacting. I mean, look at this shit, bro. Gainward Phoenix, the GTX 970, one of the goated cards, like the legend of the Phoenix. You got Marco blasting full spread on the cover. The vivacity and the vibrancy of the color just pop out at you like it's running the color gamut. This is some Bobby Flay tier shit, some Anthony Bourdain shit right here, some Marco Pierre White cuisine right here, with the slogan Gamer Spirit plastered at the bottom right. Now that brings a fucking tear to my eye and makes me want to dish out the $400 for this masterpiece of a card to play the newly released Shadow of Mordor. And this isn't even that old, it's only 10 years old. We weren't getting shanghaied by GPU globalists impressed by Nvidia. And look at the Chinese iGame 970. I don't even know if this is a legit card. It might be a Temu bootleg. Wait, Temu didn't exist back then, but you know, this might be an AliExpress card whipped up quickly in the Guangzhou province, but it got this sick ass nigga on here, bro. Looks like the god deer. Ooh, they're about to piece your shit up in bear form. This goes so hard like, and I shall grant you infinite power. You know what? Let's go even further back to the GTX 550 Ti. This just has a straight up wolf on the front of it. Just a fucking wolf. And it's still cold as hell. Wolfpack. When you boot this shit up, Little Uzi starts blaring out of your speakers and you get into true spirit. Or even a little bit more further back to the 480. Now look at this shit. Who the fuck is this nigga, bro? Is this a fucking Slave Knight Gale pre-time skip? Melkor riding into Valinor, or that bitch ass nigga that filters you at the beginning of Elden Ring? Ride the lightning. And look at that splash art. Infograph 50% faster, 20% cooler, voltage tweak. Go shift that shit into overdrive. This is probably my favorite. This GTX 450 we have, that man Os from Shin Megami Tensei coming at you with a power slash after Tsukukaja. That shit goes insane, bro. 550 Ti, we got Galvatron in this bitch about to molest your frame rates with a path blaster. This 480 box was a MSI promo that has Resident Evil 5 and Street Fighter 4 on it, getting your PC right before you kill Africans and punch boulders, and to lose to Seth struggling to pull off an FADC for one round. Oh, on this 480 box, we got Eve just chilling with a fucking apple from Assassin's Creed, presenting it to you like she did Adam. Like, buy this card, you will damn humanity for for eternity and cast your framemates out of the garden. Pick that shit from Huang's Tree of Kuda, and Lisa Su was the serpent. This Galax GPU, a manufacturer I've never even seen or heard of, has a scary ass fucking payday clown looking at me menacingly, giving me a choice between life or death. I don't even remember no 1080 Ti having this creepy ass ICP on here. What's your game? Shit, I don't know, but if I buy this card, we stop staring at my shit. Actually, all the Galax cards have these suspicious ass criminal ass people on the box. This nigga was hung for not buying the box. Is this manufacturer run by fucking Casa Nostra or thieves in law? Fine, I'll buy the card, just don't split my wig. Damn, I'm not trying to end up in the bottom of a ditch because I didn't buy a 1070, and this is just an ammo box. I don't even know what the GPU is inside. It might not even be a GPU inside. It could be an unexploded ordnance that bitch found in Verdun to boom bust your shit, or it could be some, you know, ricin or leftover syphilis from the Tuskegee experiment in that shit, or a topped off alien dick that Bob Lazar was told to keep under wraps. Some Karasima, who the hell knows, but it's cool as shit. It's top secret though. Keep that shit under wrap. Not even gonna open that shit. This box got a chick that looks vaguely like someone I've seen on nHentai or Pixiv, and this box got a nigga on here, Spirit of the Game, and this shit was in a wooden crate like a TF2 loot box. It's not even the Nvidia cards that had it too. The AMD Radeon cards were equally as crazy. This R6 970, we got a fucking MiG flying towards your shit at Mach 20 speeds, about to carpet bomb your shit like Yemen Obama. That shit is going so fast, it's lightning behind it. It's so fast, it's enhanced the ambient electrical field in the air to facilitate a rapid discharge of electrons to trail that shit. That shit is extreme. It might not even be that fast of a GPU, but the box makes you go, oh shit, this shit's gonna send my shit to Mars. It's radical. It's radical. It makes you feel like you downed 5 monsters, 3 primes, 6 Red Bulls, the green ones, of course, and 17 freaking Celsiuses. That's the point. The box strikes you. This Sapphire Radeon 6970 came with a fucking briefcase promoting the goated DLC that OGs only remember, only unks, alright, people born 2000 and before, from the best Battlefield Bad Company 2 Vietnam. This makes me so insanely jealous. That had to have been a promo. Forget the GPU for a second. EA, can you be great again and stop with this lame ass live service with 2042 and go back to the Vietnam days? I'm trying to get PTSD flashbacks again at Fubai Valley, back when Critical used to make those fun tactic bids. This 7750 got a female nigga on the front about to rob your frame rates like they do in Baltimore. This 6950 has a I don't even know what's going on with this chick. This is some JetX ass 3D rendering, some Xavier Renegade Angel Gimp Bryce 3D made ass 3D rendering. I don't know why a lot of Radeon boxes had these 3D renderings of these bad bitches on their boxes. Maybe because this is what 14-year-olds had back in the day before Rule 34, and made do with it to the woman on the boxes from their infinite 3D sex appeal and make them want to cop the card afterward. And look, 2 gigabytes of GDDR5, only a little less VRAM than what I currently have in the current Nvidia cards these days. There are so many of these girls dubbed as Radeon girls plastered on these boxes like Victoria's Secret and Chanel ads, who were quite popular back in the day before the robot overlords replaced them and took these poor ladies' jobs. Now I think that's sexist and discriminatory personally. Robots were already replacing jobs before AI. To my knowledge, these AMD mascot girls were rendered by the cards themselves to promote their technology, and the most popular of these gyals was Baby Gyal Ruby. Oh my, how do we do? Artists, you know what to do. And the gain word Asajj Ventress here too. She was my personal favorite, to be honest. Nvidia had a propensity for showing off their girls too, along with Ruby and their infamous tech demos, which showcase these girls' infinite amount of sex appeal on their new cards like they're auditioning for America's Next Top Model, but for the Uncanny Valley. Seriously though, these girls were smoking. Like they had Honey Select before it even existed, but kept that shit under wraps. I'll make a video reacting and ranking these crazy tech demo girls one of these days, maybe after this video for shits and giggles, but I digress. These sick bastards took Ruby away from us, man.
How could you do this?
A tragic loss, one of the greatest female leads of all time. AMD, Give us that Ruby, I'll drop the dough on your shitty cards. I know, might seem a little sexist, plastering hot, cool, sexy girls on GPU boxes that were predominantly advertised towards young men and hormonal teenagers that probably had a few jars laying around and wanted to avoid alienating their female gaming demographics that were growing, but at least bring back Ruby, not all the girls, man. She probably sold more GPUs than any other design, and that's for sure. And hey, maybe they can even put some sexy guys on there named Jackson Steele or some shit with leather and assless chaps on. Actually, I think more would still like that more than girls. At the risk of not wanting to be sexist, I'm gonna avoid making a tier list of the women on these boxes. Oh, this gonna be easy. Baby girl, waifu. She kinda nice. Nah, I'm not fucking with the EU. Boom. Yup. Yeah. Anyways, the Power Color HD 7990 looks like a personal package shipped by Satan himself through the affiliated cohort shipping service associated with him and personal choice, USPS Devil 13. If you open this shit up, you are definitely selling your soul for frames. This is a Nocturne package, a package that if you open up will unleash Gehenna in your house. But as long as it gives you a frame boost, it's okay, I guess. The Sapphire Toxic 6950, we have a member from the Shadow Wizard Money Gang about to cast a spell on your bitch ass. Dude is cooking up a conjuration spell to conjure up you some frames because the AMD drivers are non-existent. He's about to use some technomancy to resurrect your card after that OC overclock fried your shit trying to run that Dirt 3 you received for free inside the box. This 7950, we got this stance Bugatti in that bitch driving towards you at 350 miles per hour. Shit looks futuristic as hell, like this is what Batman would drive if he was black. Look, supports up to 4 monitors. And that's not all. Let's go back like way back to the early 2000s and late 90s with the box art. Now we get into some weird, ugly, cursed, unhinged, radioactive Chernobyl ass shit. Pack your Rad-X and Radaway because we're descending down into the glow. Before Ruby was the poster girl of AMD, we had this Bungaloid on the cover of the Sapphire X550. This is some odd world shit right here. Looks like a cryptid you'd find a shoddy 144p quality video. Is this an alien? A Martian? I don't know. My theory goes so he was a Smurf that was exiled from the village because he was a freak. And that's saying a lot because look at those niggas. Look at his ears. That should give you the biggest clue. Like, what were they thinking with this one? Who knows? But they got niggas to buy it anyway. I don't know. I might have went with the Nvidia on this one back in 05. Speaking of which, we got that palette in this bitch. Oh yeah, this dude was sick. Move the fuck out the way, Slippy, Froggy, and Gex. We got this boy palette on the cover. It looked like them boys Ivor Robotnik and Wily forced the frog into a fucking T-1000 body and it somehow worked. Play it. Tweak it, get more out of it. You bet your ass that GTX 250 outperformed all the competition in 09. Trust me, I remember. Only 129 MSRP for him. Sounds like a good ass deal for someone who no diffs all the Battletoads. Let's even go further back in the memory lane. There is a deluge of unique and quirky GPU boxes with an array of characters that littered the market. And while yes, a lot of them were ugly as shit, still had a distinct charm and character versus this boring minimalist shit we were forced to buy today. But on the other hand, we have what the f is that? Who is this fiendish goblin who's about to mug your shit? The 9800 GTX went goblin mode before any other. I bet you this was bro from Goblin Slayer episode 1. SLI supported too. This goblin spawned straight out of FDS was one of a kind at least. I don't know how, but it had cleaned out Wallace back in 08. Same thing with this 8600 with this hellish brute throwing. What is that? Are those the same apples that Poison Ivy was handing you? I don't know if he's aggressively attacking you by throwing those fucking radioactive uranium coated green Rodon covered apples at your face or offering you them. Yeah, no thanks bro, keep them. Same with bro right here. What are you looking at? Hell nah, I don't want that shit. I definitely don't want that ugly ass on my card too. Then we got another banger from Nvidia with the GTX 260 with this evil ass shaman from the late great company BFG. Rest in peace. Quan Chi is channeling some sick ass shit on here, bro. Sinister. But it even gets weirder from here. We got some AI wars ass on here, bro. Skynet has become self-aware. Seriously, I don't know what it is about these covers, but they scare the hell out of me with this System Shock aesthetic. The G4 Ti 4600 Verto from the 6600 is literally the T1000 or robot from iRobot rising from a sea of metallic endoplasm, probably thermopaste. Creepy as hell with the 3 moons in the back too. And more with the space aesthetic with the 9800 XT ST with this LMAO on the cover straight out of X-Files. I bet when you bought this card, the Men in Black showed up at your doorstep ready to confiscate your shit. Then we have Amazo making a cameo on the 9800, probably one of my favorites from Zotac. This is peak right here. No words need to be spoken. You know this was the GPU to get. Look at the power that dude is wielding, looking at you. I'm taking that shit. Oh, now this one was my favorite, the XFX GeForce 6800 Mug Dog. This is the best box art so far, even shaped in an X. Got that boy big as hell, jacked to shit with that fat ass collar and teeth juiced to the gills on trend, mean mugging you. Now that's what I call a GPU box. Absolute peak design right here. Where the hell did shit like this go, man? We had Mug's father selling your GPUs. Looking at it just boost your test levels like you're taking TRT. I am dead ass when I say when the 5090s roll out and it has a Mug Dad on that bitch, it's a pre-order instantly. Hell, I'm scalping these boxes like the 3080. Then we have this classic box for the GeForce 256 with the totally radical dude shouting kid. This was pure 90s 2000 aesthetic right here. Spy Kids type shit. Nothing makes you want to buy a GPU for your brat playing Warcraft more than a kid shouting at you. And also Back to the Future kid from the year 2100 coming back to tell you to save your money on buying the Radeon 9700 from a dystopian Nvidia future where Huang killed off every AMD user and forced everyone to buy a new Nvidia card every year or they and their family would get killed. A bleak future. The Hercules and Matrox gestures were creepy as hell too, man. This Shaco ass Pennywise clown is tempting with a GPU in his hands, looking at you with his sinister, unsettling eyes like a predator, like Diddy, like Drake, like Ava, like Dr. Disrespect. His gaze is penetrating you in your soul, and you are being persuaded by his presence alone. And the Hercules box just has a sick ass Joker on there. Now this was more badass than creepy. This was tough. Hercules had some of the sickest niggas on their box, man. Look at this man's teeth ready to rip your flesh apart. Then we had the whole fantasy era here with Merlin jizzing his pants from the sheer amount of frames he's getting, and the Saint Seiya live action adaptation for the RX 1300 Pro and the GeForce FX 5200. In general, the FX line of cards has some esoteric weird ass cards that make you feel like you're robo tripping. This Pixel View GeForce 3 Ti 200 is doing a JoJo pose as you're going to Warp 8 with infinite performance. Infinite. This motherfucker is better than the 4090 right here. Is that even legal to have as a slogan? Infinite performance? That's some false ass advertisement unless I can get 500 frames max settings on Flight Simulator on that bit. Legend says this is where Usain Bolt got his inspiration from his famous pose, by the way. And last but certainly not the least, the line who consistently produced the best card art was hands down 3DFX with their Voodoo cards. These boxes were legendary. When you get your hands on these boxes at Tire Direct or Micro Centers, you knew what you were getting into. These eyes say it all, with their garishly lurid eyes piercing the depths of your soul, screaming at you as they disintegrate, calling to you in agony with an almost ephemeral and occultic essence to them. Oh yeah, these boxes ran the color gamut as well. Every single one of these boxes were sick. Every single one of them. Who do you voodoo, bitch? There are so many other cool old GPU boxes that I missed out on, and I can go all day looking at them and making fun of them, but you get the point. Old GPU card boxes were sick as hell, except these were ugly as shit. And this box just has mining on the front. What the hell is with that? Oh, so these were the first GPU miners before Bitcoin ruined the business. Oh, okay, these good old boys had to shut down the mines up in West Virginia after the, GPU market crash. SMH, save American jobs. So now that we spent an excessively long time gazing at the majestic splendor of these alluring pieces of cardboard, it's time to answer the real questions, and the question that everyone has been wondering, and the main question of the video. Why the hell are the boxes so boring now? I mean, come on. How do we go from these to this? I mean, this is just sad, just lazy as hell. This shit is even lazier than me. He's just put a solid grade matte color on the box of their most expensive cards. You're telling me $150 gets me this masterpiece, but $1,300 gets me this piece of shit? This is as pretentious as this minimalist shit goes. You know what's inside, and we know you're still gonna open your wallet and allow us to take your money to John Podesta, James Galifianakis, and Epstein's crib, and you're gonna watch and like it. Well, sadly, it's a tale as old as time itself, or at least Adam Smith capitalism. Alright, maybe I'm not gonna put all the blame on what seems to be the biggest scapegoat from over and undereducated Zoomers now, but there are several factors which include capitalism, which under scrutiny elucidates the sad end to the playoff run known as GPU box art. First reason, well, if you haven't noticed, a lot of these companies aren't around anymore. The bulk of the coolest art was made by now defunct GPU manufacturers and tech companies that reigned supreme in the 90s and 2000s era of PC gaming. Hercules, the GPU manufacturer with the sick-ass Joker from Arroyo on the cover, sadly lost the competition to the tech oligarchs Nvidia, ATI, and 3DFX in the 90s and sold to Elsa right before they went over, and Tank 2, which then sold to a Canadian company, Gaumont, before they tanked in 2004. Damn. It was a tough market back then. Well, we still got a Royal Joker though. And then the aforementioned 3DFX was cannibalized by the Jupiter-like AMD and Nvidia, eliminating any semblance of competition in the graphics market for years and years to come, until recently Intel stepped into the game. Now the Voodoo Box's haunting images of beautiful decay shall forever be immortalized in the GPU Box Art Hall of Fame and in dusty-ass asbestos-filled basements of PC gamers. Same with BFG, who were defunct back in 2010 because the market became oversaturated with manufacturers making other PhysX cards for Nvidia. Now with manufacturers still around who make cards for Nvidia and AMD like ROG, and the older manufacturers who's taken a backseat in recent years, but still kicking like Lead Tech with the Jizz Wizard, PNY with iRobot, Palette with Mech Slippy, and Gainward with the sexy ass woman, still make okay covers, but nothing even compared to their older stuff. Even Nvidia and AMD OEM boxes were sick as hell back then, but now are lame. Well, the answer to this is because the head of marketing at both AMD and Nvidia have to okay any art that is presented on their GPU boxes to be sold, OEM and third party. So this led to a creative vacuum which was then filtered through hard asses up at corporate as marketing trends, design modernization, and standardization and demographics changed over time. A lot of these concepts were too cartoony, tone deaf, abstract, or straight up unattractive, or seemed unprofessional to the changing audience, and more tech companies were following the industry trends that Apple set with their optimized, sleek, minimalistic design philosophy which permeated into every facet of the tech industry. Designs were also more standardized as GPUs became better over time, and you know what they say, standardization stipends creativity. As the design philosophies changed, so did the boxes. This is called refinement culture and the engineer's dilemma. When a designer or brand has reached a peak of a product's design and there's no possible way to optimize a product any further, the next step is to go backwards and hit the refresh button and streamline designs, strip down the aesthetics to the bare minimum, and take away from the initial design philosophy so that when they feign innovation on future iterations of products and designs, they can repackage it as new and optimized when it is just some standardized bullshit. This can be seen everywhere, and also the reason why everything sucks and is so boring now, not just GPU arts. So thank Apple for no more crazy and quirky frogs, robots, wizards, orcs, green giant ladies, the mug dog, and other Quaalude-induced Pinterest anomalies that are lost to time. This is especially the case with the Nvidia and AMD gals as well. Women dressed skimpily placid on cheap covers of cardboard for teenage boys and grown men to brick up over was seen as pretty tasteless and didn't bode well with the people up top, as it is seen as sexist and objectifying with more women entering gaming industry. No more Ruby tech demos, no more Ruby posters, no more Ruby awkward poses on GPU box arts, and no more Ruby dolls which may or may not have been in jars. So thanks feminists for ruining everything. Cancelled. Go woke, go broke. You took my Ruby away. And weird booby lady here. Hashtag bring back Ruby. Though gone are the bygone golden days of yore when it came to these eccentric and cool GPU boxes, and they took our GPU wives away, all hope is not lost. There's some sort of comeback to these cool designs, and some manufacturers over east are doing a hell of a job too with these designs. The marketing geniuses knew what the one market that overlaps with expensive computer parts, weebs. and the gods themselves put anime on their boxes. Ingenious, absolutely beautiful, stunning. Albeit these waifu cards are only available in places like China and Korea and offer questionable performances, but fuck it, these boxes are beautiful. Give me anime titty cards now. I swear if they had a Vegapunk York or Perona or Snow White or Kiryuin card, fuck their performance, take my entire wallet. Or just anime cards in general would be badass. I know you can get custom GPU plates for anime, seems like a waste of money, but if I can get an ounce of originality and personality as the cards of the past, then count me in. And there are competition cards as well, but those are one of a kind giveaways and could just get with a simple decal or a little time at a 3D printer. Let's just say if there was a choice between Save Little Sister and old GPU box art, call me Alice, cause I'm taking the box art. Thank you kindly.
Where did they go? Why did they build this crap?
There you have it. This topic had just been itching my soul for years, and it felt like I just had to get it off my chest, because it's just another facet of how lazy companies have become, and another example of putting in less effort for more profit. Maybe y'all can help spread awareness to this, and maybe we can get some cool ass art again, at least back in the West. Thanks for sticking around to the end, and tell me if you got any of these cool boxes laying around somewhere, and which box is your favorite. Now excuse me, I got Ruby Tech demos to thirst over. Hashtag bring back Ruby. Thanks once again everybody, bye and Godspeed.